Well, welcome. We're going to begin a unit on transformations. It's really a geometry topic. There are four parts to this. The first one we're going to do today is what's called translations, where you take an object and you just shift it from here to there or here to there. And really what you're going to find out is that it's a left-right movement and then an up-down movement. But we can think of it as a translation this way too. Tomorrow we're going to learn about, reflection. So that would be where you turn it over either that way or turn it this way. The third one we're going to deal with is a rotation, where we're rotating an object. And then the last one we're going to deal with is called a dilation, where it just gets bigger or smaller. But at any rate, let's begin. You don't need to copy this down. Just watch what I'm doing. The other notes you do need to have printed out or at least hand copied so that you can get right to it in just a moment. But here we've got a coordinate plane, and let me locate certain points. Here I've got at -4, 0, okay? And let's go up here. I'm going to go, what is that? That's -2, 2. And then over here I've got 1, 0, and let's put another one here. That's -1, -1. All right, now I'm going to join these locations, these ordered pairs, and now I have a four-sided figure. And then I'm going to label this A, B, C, D. Okie dokie. Now, the first thing I'd like you to know that when we're doing a transformation, we're taking an object and we're turning it around, doing something with it. The original one is called the pre-image. Pre meaning before. Once we transform it, then it will become the image. Now, with a translation, you always have what's called a translation rule, and there's a particular way you write it. So, for instance, you write it this way, and this means that every XY ordered pair on this four-sided figure, and actually there are an infinite number of them, here, and so on. Every XY point on that figure is going to shift. Now, we get to decide how we want it to shift. I think I'm going to go right 2 units and then down 1 unit. So with every XY ordered pair, I'm going to add 2 to it. So it's going to move it in a positive direction. And every Y coordinate, I'm going to move down 1. Now that may sound kind of confusing, but it's super easy. So you just take your 4 vertices here. So for point B, I'm going to move it over 2 and down 1. Now, we give it a different name called B prime. That's that little mark. It's called a prime. And that's to tell us that it went from here to here. It went over 2 and down 1. So as you can probably guess, from point C, we're going to go over 2 and down 1, and that becomes C prime. Point D, we go over 2 and down 1, and that's D prime. And point A, we go over 2 and down 1, and that's A prime. And we join the vertices like so. And so we have shifted quadrilateral A, B, C, D to A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime. Now, as I mentioned before, this new landing place, the new transformation, we call the image. It starts, the pre-image, ends with the image. Now, there's one other word that I want you to think about. I'm not going to use it all the time, but periodically we'll use it. And that's the word isometry. This transformation is an isometry, and the reason why is that after you've shifted it all the way you want it, the final image is congruent with the pre-image. Congruent, same size, same shape. So again, if after you've done all your transformations, the resulting figure is congruent to the pre-image, we call this transformation an isometry. Okay, at this point, if you could take your notes out, and we will get to that. And there are going to be 6 of these. And I want you to be sure that you take a photo of the notes that you're taking and then upload them, submit them through Canvas. I don't want them sent through an email. Submit them through Canvas. It'll be a file upload. And I need the pictures to be complete. I want to see all the problems, and especially I want to see your work on them. And do your best to make them clear and not fuzzy looking. All right, so example 1, we've got just a point. This is the pre-image, point D. I'll do it like that so you can see a little bit better. And the translation rule is telling us we want to shift this thing left 1 and up 2. So easy enough. We go left 1, up 2, and that's D prime. And that's it. That was the shift. All right, let's go to problem number 2. If I can get up here. All right, here we've got a 4-sided figure. We're going to take this, shift it left 2, down 2. Again, the x coordinates are always left, right. The y coordinates are always up, down. And you can start anywhere you want. I'll start with u. So to get to u prime, I go left 2 and down 2. So there's u prime. Here's v. To get to v prime, I go left 2, down 2. There's v prime. T, to get to t prime, left 2, down 2. There's t prime. And w, left 2, down 2. Whoops, didn't do that too well. W prime. And I join the vertices. All right, not too bad, is it? Let's keep on going. Okay, once more, we've got another 4-sided figure. And this translation rule says that we're going to shift it left 4 and up 3. Now, once again, it really does not matter where you start. Just pick a spot and start. So I see D. I'm going to go left 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up 3, 1, 2, 3. And that becomes D prime. Start from C. I go left 1, 2, 3, 4, and up 1, 2, 3. C prime. Point E becomes E prime if I go left 4 and up 3, 1, 2, 3. E prime. And point B becomes B prime, left 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and up 1, 2, 3. There we go. And that's B prime. All right, so is this transformation an isometry? Is the image congruent to the pre-image? And the answer is yes. So it is an isometry. All right, let's go to number 4. All righty, here we've got a triangle. This particular transformation is a translation. Here's the rule. We take every XY ordered pair, we go left 4 units and then down 1 unit. So we go left 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, down 1. C becomes C prime, 1, 2, 3, 4, and down 1. E becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, and down 1. All right. So there you have it. And this too is an isometry. Now let's do the last two. And the last two we are asked to do to come up with the translation rule. Now I don't know how clear this will be on the video, but one of these is in blue and one is in black. Now how do you know which one is the pre-image? Which one is the image? Because it really, we have to know that. Well, again, notice the prime symbols. The one in the blue is the image. So in other words, we started with the pre-image, the one in the black, and we shifted it. So how did it shift? And again, if you can't see it easily, just pick one. I see point T here. How did it go from T to T prime? Well, it went, what, left, right 1, and up 2, correct? So here's the translation rule. It's X, Y with an arrow, and every X value went to the right 1, and the Y values went up 2. And that's all you have to do. That's the translation rule. All right, last one. Let's try number 6. Now, before I forget, there is one exception I'd like you to think through. Let's say you've got a translation rule that looks like this. Where there is no other number with that particular X. What does that mean? Well, you don't go right or left. You just stay the same on, like, for instance, if this was point A and we were to translate it with this rule, A prime would simply be up 2 units. It wouldn't have gone left or right. Okay, now back to the final one though. We're going from the black figure, A, B, C, to A prime, B prime, C prime. So let's just pick one, all right? From B to B prime, how'd you get there? We went right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then down 1, 2, 3. All right, so we went right 6, add 6 to the X's, and down, what did I say, 1, 2, 3. All righty. Well, there you have it. It may be useful for you to have some amount of graph paper at home. You don't need a ton because pretty much this is the only unit this semester where we're going to need graph paper. So if you can't get to it, don't worry about it. On the other hand, if you can get a small amount, that would be good. Well, y'all have a good one.